Hello Scorpios, my name is Tara Tarot. I will be doing your reading from mid-May to mid-June. Sorry about that. I had shuffled the cards before while recording, and then I had just totally, my camera bugged out, so I'm starting with the recording with the cards already laid out there for you. So I will be doing this reading for Sun, Moon, and Rising signs in Scorpio. This reading is a general reading, so if it doesn't resonate with you, you could check out your Moon or your Rising sign videos to see further clarification or something that you identify stronger with, or I might just not be the reader for you. So I just like to give that out before I proceed. And also, I will be leaving a link below if you don't know your other signs. If you know your time of birth and where you were born, you can enter that and you can receive your natal chart. So you can get further, what's the word? You could just get into it more. I'll figure out what word I meant later. Anyway, so this month is a really, or at least from May to mid-June, is a really intense period. And on Saturday here, I'm in New York as I'm recording this, but on Saturday here, that's when we had the full moon. So some of you, I think it would be Sunday or maybe Friday. However, that full moon brought a lot of intensity with it, and it was in your sign, so you're able to delve deep into the waters with something that you do naturally. So it's not something you have to think about too hard. However, I think this month a lot of things that were coming up for you were traumatic or blockages that were keeping you back from a lot of things, especially when dealing with romantic relationships. I think right now, from the cards that I've gathered, I think there's a lot to do with your finances and your career. So I'm going to just dive into it. The first card that appeared is the Sun, and right now this is you. This is where you are currently. So you're in a place of abundance, of feeling lighthearted, of feeling joy. Possibly a lot of opportunities are coming up for you, a lot of things seeming to fall into place. You might feel very comfortable, and I think that comfort is causing you to hold on very strongly to where you're at, because you're afraid of that being taken away from you and not getting any better, but just getting worse, because we so often just expect things to fall thereafter, whereas they could just make those little leaps. Not everything is going to be linear and staying on one path, of course. However, there's no reason why it wouldn't just have its little road bumps. It doesn't need to be something so traumatic as losing everything. I don't see a Tower card for you. I know you guys fear the worst, but I think right now you're not serving yourself best because you are holding on to something. And I think if you learn that lesson, you will receive victory, because I think this is something that you need to work with at this time. And I think you're being asked to work out the need to hold on to everything that brings you some kind of satisfaction, especially if it's an egoic satisfaction. And that could be dealing with a person. If it's a person that's doing that and you're holding on to it solely for the fact that they bring you emotional fulfillment, then just realize that at a different point in their life, they might not be able to do that for you. So if you're holding on to this one part that you are right now, you're not going to be able to see further than that. I'm not saying don't live in the present. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying don't live in the past or try to prevent the future by sticking in this one tone energy. You are multidimensional, so it doesn't make sense to stop yourself that way. I do also see that you're manifesting a lot of things that you've been putting your energy towards for a long time. I think you've been trying to keep up with a business, growing something financially for yourself, growing, if it's moving on to a new business, moving on for working towards for yourself, working more, making more money, doing something that you love. I see that a lot of it, and it's just because there's so many pentacle cards. And I think that you've been manifesting it for a long time, and now it's coming all at you full force, because this full moon in your sign brings such an intense energy. I think it's been bringing what you've been trying to call in for so long, and now you're getting so many options that you're becoming overwhelmed. And I think that you need to make a choice. So I think you're being asked to take a step back and really weigh out your options and look at everything, not with this like loving halo view of, oh my god, everything is so grand, but look at it like logically, less in the emotion and more in the, which is hard for you guys because you are so emotional and you're a water sign, but less emotional and more logical. I would ask you at this time, and I know there are a cups thing, but like that's an intuitive message that I have for you, is I just feel like you guys really need to take a step back. I also see that you guys have the Two of Pentacles. So you could be juggling 2 jobs. You could be taking an offering out of all of them that are appearing to you, and you might have to juggle a few things. You might even be juggling between starting a business and where you're working now, or starting some kind of a new project and working full-time, or being a mom, whatever it is. General reading again. So it goes different ways for different people, but I think for a lot of people, you're juggling a new project and something that you're, actively working in, as a job. It could be for some of you that you also have manifested like new soulmates into your life, and now you're manifesting a lot of people, but you need to pick which one is an actual soulmate, not just, people coming up are all meant to teach you lessons, but I think like when I say you're manifesting a soulmate into your life, I mean someone who's really going to teach you about you, not somebody who's just meant to have fun with you, though sometimes that's needed too. But I think what you need at this time is something that's more emotional, if it is a relationship. I think for most of you, though, it will be financially. I think that you've been offered another job and you'll be working 2 jobs, or starting a business and working the job that you're in currently. But you have like a lot of opportunities and a lot of options coming up for you with which project you want to start, because I think you guys want to do a lot of things. I think you will start to feel burned out. And you might have a little bit of a loss of money with doing this. I say that because at the bottom of the deck, there's the 5 of Pentacles. I'm not saying, don't do it because you're going to lose all of your money. That's not what's going to happen. I think there just might be a setback, or it might just be null. You might just flatline as far as your finances, and it might not be any, like an extra surplus with you starting whatever this new thing is, or you might be spending more money in, let's say, travels, if it was like to a new job, and therefore it's kind of evening out in the end, but the experience will be worth it for you along that line. But I feel like you will need to have some rest, and you might feel defensive against, I feel like you'll be most defensive towards other people who are questioning what you're doing at this time, and your need to like isolate yourself from the world. I think with the 4 of Swords and the 7 of Wands, I think you're going to need to defend yourself with the need to like be away from people, because I think this month is not going to have too much as far as like being out with friends and communicating with a lot of people, unless it's having to do with like your mission at this point. I don't really see that. I don't see a lot of like hanging out. I'm not saying you're not going to have any fun. I'm just saying I don't really see a lot of that, and I feel like you might feel the need to defend yourself towards people about wanting to be left alone. But the people that you need to work with are really going to come through at this time. And the friends and the soulmates that are going to help you, like, get further with this goal at this time are going to help you. So you need to be away. You might need to be away from the people that aren't doing anything for you and your goals at this time. And that might seem selfish, but it's more of, you need to help yourself so that you can get back to that time and celebrate. The people that are meant to be around you at this time will be, and there will be a greater understanding of what you're supposed to do. You know, it's funny, when I started this recording before this one, like, I first was like, I feel like there's a love interest with Leo, but I pulled the sun card, so I was like, I don't know why I want to say that. So I, like, totally deleted it, took it out, like, after the camera stopped working. I was like, you know what, I'm not even going to go with that first gut feeling, I'm going to go with something else, because that's what I saw after. But now I see the Page of Cups with the Strength card, so I'm going to go back to that first thing. So that could have just been an intuitive reading on my part, but I do feel like a Leo is going to approach you in love, or someone from your past that you had very strong feelings for, someone who you really has your heart, probably had for a really long time, is going to offer you something in love. This could be because you're doing all of the things necessary in business, and therefore by being your best self, you're bringing that in. Or it could be that you've really manifested that soulmate that I said for some of you in this reading, that you've really manifested that soulmate. And also, I feel like you, because the Five of Swords came out with it, I feel like it's somebody who had, like, deceived you in the past, or honestly, I feel like you hurt them in the past. Because, like, with this one, he's walking away from it, and they know that, like, if there's a conflict and nobody's walking away from it, like, unharmed, but there's a sense of, like, you're the one that screwed up out of it. And since you see him full force, and this is about you, I really want to say that you've hurt them in the past, and they're coming back, but it's something that you've wanted, you've been manifesting, and that very well could be something that you've been wanting for a really long time. You might not feel ready for this relationship or this person because of all of the other things that you have going on, but it's also a possibility that this is the time where you'll be able to really learn your boundaries, what it is you need to, like, do to be with another person. Can you keep up with 2 jobs and another relationship? I'm not sure. What I do think is that it's worth exploring. The Page is a very romantic love, so it could be someone, like, romantic as far as, like, puppy love. So it could also be that your offering is one of, like, that is a little bit immature. Or this could be someone that you've loved in the past as a teenager, someone that you feel those feelings for. You didn't necessarily have to be a teenager. There's a lot of different meanings, but I really feel with that one that there's just, like, a love interest popping back up after everything else occurs. So I think first and foremost, you need to kind of let go of your hold on to, like, where you are right now. Be in the present, but be okay with the fact that anything can change. And if you start doing that, you'll manifest what you really need to do. You might need to work harder than you have before and juggle multiple things, multiple jobs, multiple projects, and you might need to isolate yourself from others, but that doesn't mean that you won't manifest the people that need to be there. And when doing that, it's very possible that that's where you meet this person. You'll get a chance to rewrite the wrongs that have been done before as well. And I think that that's something that you guys have been wanting, and it might have even come up this full moon. So that is your month's reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave a like and comment below, and I will see you guys next month. Thank you. Bye.